compete on the world stage, but experts say it's the Wild West here when it comes to legal protection for their designs. China accounts for 60% of all fakes, costing the fashion industry tens of billions of dollars a year. UK and European laws protect designers with stiff fines for copycats. But designers here get little protection from counterfeiters, and that's leading to increasing calls for Australia's intellectual property laws to be toughened. Here's Andrew Robertson.
Here's an example of one of the bags in particular that has been copied.
Desley Maidment is the co-founder of Sydney-based bag designer and manufacturer State of Escape. Its bags sell for more than $300, but copycats are on the market for a third of the price.
Of course, anyone can design a bag and you can reference and be inspired by different things around you, but there's a difference between a blatant copy and referencing someone else's design.
Knockoffs are a huge industry, although in Australia it's hard to put a figure on how big.
Generally speaking, cases in Australia do settle out of court and moreover on confidential terms. So it is very difficult to quantify.
The OECD and the European Union have combined to work out what they think plagiarism of design is costing. In 2015, fashion producers in Europe lost sales worth 48 billion Australian dollars. And on a global scale, 63% of fake products are made in China, and they account for 12.5% of Chinese exports. Unfortunately, copyright is no protection for designers.
Designs actually protect the shape and configuration of the garment, but copyright is automatic protection, and that protects prints. For example, a rose print or a unique zebra design or something like that.
So when you look at a knockoff, how do you know that they have copied your design?
Well, there's some key features we created on the bag.
Features which Desley Maidment believes set her bags apart from the copycats, but under Australian intellectual property law, she feels they get little protection.
In the UK and the EU, they have really tight legislation that ensures designers' creations are protected, and there are hefty fines and penalties for any imitations and replicas.
That tight legislation includes a 3-year grace period for designers to decide whether or not to register their products. During that grace period, no copycats are allowed.
This is the right colour palette.
In Australia, to have any protection from copycats, products need to be registered at a substantial cost before they hit the market, and then at most they get 10 years protection.
The reality is in Australia, a lot of fashion designers don't protect their design registrations, not in Australia and certainly not in China. So that does make it quite a challenge.
This is one of State of Escape's bags, and as you can see, it's a simple design and easy to replicate. And in the modern world, that can bring problems of its own. Many designers are now using crowdfunding websites like Kickstarter to raise money. And as you can see, there's a range of bags on the Kickstarter website. But crowdfunding sites are also a showcase for copycats to choose from. And with Australia's IP laws offering such little protection, the knockoff can be on the market before the original.
Australia is fast becoming the Wild West of design protection, and it's a little bit each and everyone for themselves.
As head of high-end homewares chain Top 3 by Design, Terry Winter tries to support Australian designers.
Over here we have a classic example of a product that's been ripped off.
She says there's a very good reason why designers don't register all their new products, leaving them vulnerable to the rip-off merchants.
An emerging designer, regardless of age, may certainly produce 10, 15 new products in a collection. Maybe if they're lucky, one of them might be a goer. Now, it's really not viable for them to design register all 10 to 15 of their new products in case it's going to work, and that is a hindrance. It also means that they can't do any product testing in the marketplace either.
Thanks to the looseness of Australia's intellectual property laws, the sad reality for designers wanting to make a good living from their craft is that they end up having to head overseas.
Andrew Robertson reporting there. Well, Australians have poured